Luckily, not all of us were there. Like, what was that day like?
Loaded up to go with a few things that I grabbed, and I got out. And as soon as I got out onto my road, it just went pitch black. Like, it looked like it was like midnight, and it was 9 in the morning. It was just insane. And I called my mom, who was on her way actually to come help me evacuate, and I said, "Don't come for me. You need to get out yourself," because she lived 10 minutes away from me. And then the cell tower burnt up, and so I couldn't make any more calls. This is a drive that takes 25 minutes typically to get from Paradise to Chico. It took us 5.5 hours because it was just bumper to bumper. And I mean, like, houses were just on fire all around us. We were just like sitting ducks, you know, just thinking, okay, do we get out? Do we run? You know, but yeah. I mean, I just
because
really,
you can't see where it's worse, like around you. You just see what's around you. You can't see. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just pitch black. Like, everything was just black. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, you work with Begita, right?
Yeah,
Ted in the ER.
we work together. We still work together.
And you lost your home as well.
Yeah,
right?
our home was destroyed.
And you're sitting there helping other people while your home is being destroyed. That is a great heart that you have.
Yeah. I was asleep also, and a colleague called me, and I still remember rolling over and looking at the alarm clock, and it was 8:23. And so I got in my car, and I was headed towards the hospital to try to help out, and pretty soon I got turned around. A police officer said, "The hospital was on fire, you got to evacuate." So I turned around, and I got caught in traffic, and...
Dude, can we get tissues? I've been crying over here. I can't even imagine having to retell this and refeel it.
So, at that point, I thought, well, you know, the fire kind of overcame us
Thank you.
pretty quickly. It was really surprising. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, at that point, I realized I didn't think I was going to die, but I was kind of like, well, I probably should call my wife and tell her, you know, if
something were to happen.
Yeah, I called her and I said that I loved her, and that if something happened, I wanted her to know that I loved her, and that I thought I was going to be fine, but I wasn't sure, and I wanted her to tell the kids. And we talked for a little bit, and then the line got disconnected. And so for about the next 5 hours, my wife didn't know, you know, whether I was alive or dead.
Oh, gosh.
And yeah, I still feel bad about that, you know, the anguish she went through. So pretty quickly we were told to shelter in place, and I was in a Kmart parking lot, and there was a number of people there. And so we were able to put together a kind of a makeshift medical team, and we started going around and just taking care of patients. And there was a kid that rolled his truck trying to get out, and so we helped him. There were a number of patients that were low on their oxygen. They were hypoxic, and so fire chief that was there gave us some oxygen, and we were able to get a bunch of people out, and then finally we were able to evacuate ourselves. So.
Gosh, I mean, it's almost like what you're talking about, John, like with your brother Dan. It's like your brother will experience things, and y'all have experienced something that many people won't, and you don't even understand the impact of it.
Yeah, it took a little while.
Whew. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to get over that. And I know your wife won't.
Yeah.
When the call dropped, I would have I'm losing my mind right now. I'm not even your wife. Yeah. I'm like, it's so sad.
It was,
but Elizabeth, you don't actually live there, but you raced because your sister lived there, and you raced to help. You're also in the medical field.
I am, yeah. I'm a nurse practitioner in San Francisco. I was in a work class in San Francisco, and I got a call from my sister and grabbed a cab, like raced back to my house, and was driving 100 miles an hour, you know, as fast as I could. But I felt so helpless. You know, the cell phone towers had mostly all burned, and so I would get service for a minute, and I would get a text message and, like, you know, confirm that someone was okay, but then it would be like hours till I got more information. So, you know, and my mom was like on a different road, so just trying to keep track of, you know, her and my mom weren't together. She's in the car with her dogs and her husband. My mom's on a separate road with her dog, you know, in her car. And just, I felt so helpless. Just not, you know, there was nothing I could do.
Did you got out, you got to the clinic?
Yeah, so we all convened at an apartment in Chico. My family was safe. I've never been so grateful for anything. And then, you know, I realized that my family's safe, but there are so many people who either didn't get out or are gravely, gravely injured or in trouble after this fire, and we have to do something. We have the skill set, you know, we're medical providers. We have to jump in and help. So we started looking for ways to help, and that's how we ended up at the shelter.
You are the greatest people. What are some early challenges at the shelter that y'all had?
So when we arrived at the shelter, it was complete and utter chaos. The next day, my mom, Whitney, my sister, and I, it was November 9th. And it was literally, the fire's still burning. And we just showed up and we're like, we're nurses. And they said, great, get to work. And so my mom actually grabbed a trash bag and was just triaging patients, basically, and writing down what medications do you need, because I'm a person who's very healthy and I barely made it out of the fire myself. So imagine someone who is older and needs oxygen. How could they run out of that fire grabbing their oxygen tank or their medications? And so we needed to get their blood pressure meds. We needed to get their insulin and their heart meds right away, or else this was just going to get worse and worse. And there was about 250 people at the shelter we were working at for 6 weeks after the fire. And everybody needed to have a chart. They needed to know their allergies, their vital signs, what are they trending at.
We were doing whatever we could to keep people, to treat what we could to keep people out of the ER.
Yeah.
Gosh, John, where were you when you heard about the campfires and everything? Like, how did?
My goodness, the thing that I take away the most, I think, in these moments, and I know today we've talked about a lot of difficult, uncomfortable things that bring a lot of emotion out of people. I would just like to express my absolute gratitude to all of you you are the beacon of organization and hope through the chaos.
Yeah.
Because things like this go wrong on a mass scale, and we need people to be heroes. We need people to step into harm's way to save others and to right the situation. So while we're on this course of correction, our first responders should be looked at as absolutely what they are, heroes and respected for that.
They should really implement this in school to where it's not just upon just the first responders. There's only so many of y'all to go around. Like, we really need to be educated as a public to be able to do that. But I could go on and on about that. All right, Begita, so what's this situation in your area today?
So the whole town burnt down, 19,000 structures, 14,000 homes. I think 85 to 95% of the trees are just they need to come down, or they're actively coming down. So it's kind of apocalyptic.
Like a ghost town.
It's a ghost town, but people are living up there in their burnt lots, in their trailers, in their cars, in their tents. I mean, it was a really low income town. It was a retirement town, so a lot of people on fixed incomes.
And they don't have anywhere to go,
They
so
have
you've
nowhere
got
to
to make it
go.
work, yeah.
And then the water, the pipes melted because the fire burnt so hot. And so benzene leached into the pipes, and so you can't shower, you can't brush your teeth, and you can't drink the water for the next 3 years up there.
Are they just using like rivers and streams? Like
Bottled water is getting passed out by various churches. And that's where we kind of saw the opportunity to kind of start a free mobile clinic and host clinic days in church parking lots where they're passing out these waters and people are coming and getting water. And we thought, well, you get your water, we can also refill your prescriptions.
Yeah, we were talking after the things finished up at the East Avenue Church where we originally started working. We were like, well, what are the next steps? And we were talking, and we were kind of like, well, let's form a free clinic. There's a huge need. There's still a huge need, and so we put together a team. We're called MedSpire Health, and we have one of our team members here, Mary Lisa. She's essential, does a great job for us. We have a great team. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have nurse practitioners, we have paramedics on our team. And we show up at places and provide care. So we're a free mobile clinic. We believe that healthcare is a right. We believe in going to the people to provide the care, and we believe it should be free. It just takes a village.
It does.
And it's just been heartwarming. The work we've been able to do and the support we've gotten. So.
Man, well, today's episode is dedicated to first responders. Begita, Elizabeth, and Ted are just a handful of the thousands and thousands of people who put their own needs to the side and stepped up in the face of tragedy. I think I speak for everyone at home when I say thank you so much for everything y'all do. Everybody in the audience, this is why I wanted to do this show, was to highlight just great human moments, because although there can be a lot of darkness, there's a lot of good going on too. We value your dedication, your service, everything. So on behalf of our show, I want to present you with this check, and it's a first season, so the show is donating $5,000. I'm going to donate $15,000, so it'll be a $20,000 to go toward you. And oh my gosh! Oh, don't go! back. We'll be right back, y'all.
Oh, don't hurry! I will not stop talking until you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's right, and I can talk a lot. Seriously, not gonna stop. Yep, still here, not going anywhere. I see you. Don't walk away from this.